So, hello everyone. Can you hear me? I mean, am I audible or not? Just give your response in the chat window. If I'm audible, Hakuna Matata. Yes, Radham. So, I'm audible. Just give response in the chat window. Audible or not? So, okay, I can see only 15-16 people in the top chat list. Audible or not? I mean, either you are not typing or I am not getting it. This is not receiving enough video to maintain the smooth streaming. Okay. So, what is going on? Okay, audible. Very good. Lot of delay in the messages. Okay. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि I mean 18 लोग हैं, मतलब I am making a list of 20 people. 18 यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं नहीं. So I mean Kubernetes से क्या है, परेशान तो नहीं हुए ना अभी? It's all fine. और अब लग रहा है कि टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज कर देनी चाहिए. Yes, all fine. या फिर Kubernetes को चेंज करके कुछ और कर दें. पेज कितनी बार जिंदगी में पेज रिफ्रेश करते रहे यार, बताओ. Bum. Okay, Ria, thank you so much. Yes, I'm willing to enjoy that weather. But anyway, okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do today, so we are going to talk about some new thing in Kubernetes, that is, did we discuss secrets? We discussed ConfigMap also, right? Only. We never discussed secrets. ConfigMap we discussed, but we never discussed secret, right? Okay. So today what we are going to do, we are going to understand secrets, and then we are going to understand dashboard, and we are going to understand the users in Kubernetes. Okay. Also, we'll try to deploy a database server in KDS. Great. Fine. So first of all, let me ask a question. Maybe I don't remember that हमने discuss किया है कि नहीं, but okay. Before that, I made a change. ConfigMap कब पढ़ाया? ConfigMap तो पढ़ा दिया ना शायद. रुको रिया से पूछ लो. रिया, ConfigMap done or not? और हर्ष, शुभम, आशिफ नहीं हुआ. Let me ConfigMap is not done. No sir. Okay, fine. Alright. Okay, ठीक है. तो ConfigMap भी कर देते हैं. Secret and config map also. Good. So we'll discuss 1, 2, 3. And these 3 topics. If time will allow, we'll discuss 4th as well. Fine. सबसे पहले तो कुछ अनाउंसमेंट है, राइट. अनाउंसमेंट क्या है कि आई एम डीलिंग विद सम कंपनी दैट इज लुकिंग फॉर the people who understand Linux along with this technology in very much detail. Okay, so Linux and all this DevOps technology, not with only a single company, a lot of companies that I'm dealing with, right? So I never prefer any technology for job directly, but I try to learn it first. So simply, अब क्या है कि प्लान में थोड़ा सा चेंज है. Linux का सुपर एडवांस कंटेंट, राइट, सुपर एडवांस्ड कंटेंट जिस पे विल स्टार्ट विद द वेरी बेसिक, ज़्यादा नहीं चलेगा ये, बेसिक्स. देन विल स्टार्ट विद द Linux इनपुट आउटपुट मैनेजमेंट. देन विल यूज सिक्योरिटी, विल डू यूजर मैनेजमेंट, and we'll also do kind of some hard disk management. We'll do bootstrapping, right. We'll do a kind of servers, जहाँ पे servers में हमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. For example, we'll do DHCP, we'll do DNS, we'll do DDNS, and we'll do kickstart. ये बता रहा हूँ ताकि आप इसे नोट करके मेरे लिए कुछ काम कर दो. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस विल डू नेटवर्क फाइल सिस्टम, विल डू स्क्विड, राइट. एंड स्क्विड के बाद विल डू सांबा ऑल्सो. एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली विल डू SMTP, and we'll do load balancers, how we can configure or create our own load balancers. In security point of view, we'll do KVM hypervisor stuff, we'll do firewall, and we'll do VPN, we'll do Pi Linux, right. We'll do SE Linux in very much advanced, right, and many more. There are unlimited things that I planned. Linux super advanced, and will do a lot of things, right. But I need a super duper dedicated people of around 50 people team. This is not a course, this is simply a research based program, right. We'll do research, that kind of research even you won't be able to find in Google or in any website, trust me, right. I have some ideas and I have implemented a couple of that idea of researching in existing technology, and we'll do it for free, but we need super duper dedicated 50 people, right. Just after finishing Kubernetes, we'll start that one. Okay, I don't need any money, anything from you guys. It's completely free because I just want to be one of the contributor for this IT industry to making good engineer that have the core knowledge. And my target is not India only, my target is entire world. because this after quarantine I'll be traveling across the world to deliver so many sessions. So I have these plans anyway, but now it's your job. I don't have to point out with any specific people, but collect a Excel file of 50 people. 50 people is 50 dedicated, super duper. It doesn't matter which year, which kind of people they are. They can be technical, non-technical, because anybody can start. So it will be something from zero to hero, right? Zero to unlimited. There is no limit. So even if somebody want to start their kickstart career in IT industry, they can also join. So you can connect your first year, second year, third year non-tech guys who want to jump into the world of technology. Okay, I need 50 people, 50 dedicated, right? Rest above 50 is all fine, but in my session every time 50 people will be always present, and they can do research for their own. We need to fill our GitHub and everything. So this is a very much upcoming thing, and I believe by the end of this June month, right, we'll be starting it. Okay, now who is taking the responsibility to collect the team of 50 people who are highly dedicated, right? So this responsibility you can take by your own, and you can connect me over WhatsApp. I believe again Rhythm, Harsh, Piyush, you will be all time leader. In girls, I can choose some people. They can connect to their college, university, and many other places where I need only dedicated people who are willing to do other research. Trust me, you need to do a lot of work. A lot of work means a lot of work, right? So anyway, this is what something I'm planning to. Okay, so in this list you have to submit it by, I'll make a list. You need to connect with all these three guys, and today is 1st June, max by 15th June I need a list of participants, 50 people, right? And don't forget, the people, they are not just the one who want to join it, they are the one who are crazy, right? मतलब वो पागल हैं, उनको क्या करना है कि they want to learn. The most important thing is, when we'll connect to the security part of Linux, we'll do cyber security also here, right? That means how to hack any web server, or any connection like LAN, WAN, or Wi-Fi, or database, anything. We are integrating this with Linux, because first of all we need to understand the real tech, then we can plan about the same. Okay, so security is also a very 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 big and major concern these days. And okay, because VPN and SLNX, these are really amazing things. All right, so Harsh views, and the girls, I'll connect with some girls, make a group of people. So at least Harsh and Rhythm, you guys can create a separate group of WhatsApp where we all 5-6 people can connect. Rest anybody can give your input. Okay, fine. So let's start with the Kubernetes now. All right. Now the thing is, we are discussing about ConfigMap. Fine. So let me take this topic in a different way. For example, if you remember something in Kubernetes, what I need to do is I need to log in my master node, right? Kubernetes. master node by my PowerShell. Fine. So just give me one answer once I'm gonna ask you. For example, you do remember the use of environment variable in pod, right? Either in pod or in deployment or anywhere, by introducing that env keyword. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder under temp, let's say class. I'm going to just go there, okay, and I'm just pulling that Docker image, Docker Ashutoshh/CKAD version 2, and then and what I want to show you is very simple. So I just hyphen name, okay, 111, and this entire image name, right? If I'll go back by exec, okay, 111 bash, you remember that thing, that how we are, having environment variable script and code, where we discussed about if the value of color is green, then it is going to do that, and color is yellow and blue. So we have this kind of Docker image where we have by default color as green. Okay, so how we change environment variable in Kubernetes, I hope you remember that. So we create a pod, let's say ashu pod1 hyphen image, by using Docker Ashutoshh/CKAD version 2 and hyphen port 80 hyphen dry run hyphen OYML, okay, and storing in like env.yml. So just give me that response in the chat window after writing this file. You do remember that fact that we can introduce environment variable by using hyphen name and the color, then the value is, let's say, yellow. Okay, so this is my key or variable from env in Docker file, okay, and this is value. So by default it was a green color, I just changed it to yellow. So the thing is that we discussed about the same, right? I mean, yes, we discussed about the same. Alright, so I just need that response in the chat window, just for a reminder of myself that we discussed about how we can introduce env in Kubernetes, right? So just connecting to YouTube stream again. Yes, we did. Okay, that is wonderful. Now the thing is, let's say if there are 5 people, who want to deploy their image, okay, so let's say this is me and this is again someone else and this is someone else, okay, they want to use same Docker image and they all want to deploy container by using yellow variable, yellow value, okay. So what is the problem in env? The scope of this variable is local. That means we cannot use the same setting outside this pod. So if we create another pod, we need to write it again, right? So try to understand it. If you're writing it again, that means if you need to create 1000 pods from a different purpose, then you cannot have this variable outside this pod. So that means the scope of env is local or not outside this pod. So outside this pod file you cannot use this. Okay, so we don't have any global place where we can define some variable and value and then we can use it. You are understanding my point, right? That means we don't have any global variable kind of thing in Kubernetes where we, because I really don't want to write this data here, because if I want to change, then I need to change in all the pods, all the file. So I want something like a global variable. Okay, so that global variable will be given by ConfigMap. So let me tell you the role of ConfigMap. ConfigMap is another API resource in Kubernetes that is going to store some key and value, a set of key value, right? And these key values can be used by any pod, any deployment, any replica set, any daemon set, or any replication controller independently. So you don't have to define everywhere for the same Docker image or for the different Docker image. So it's a kind of global variable, right? Global variable, and every pod or deployment, replication controller, daemon set, replica set, they can use from there. Okay, but the scope of this is only within the namespace. Outside namespaces you cannot use that. And please just tell me that I discussed about the namespaces, right? I mean namespace is done. I discussed about namespaces. We can create namespaces and we can use it by -n. Hopefully yes. Whew. Okay, just tell me. 2 answers. Namespaces we have done, and within the namespace we can define a global variable by ConfigMap, and then okay, okay, fine. So ConfigMap, I hope your understanding is alright. Now rather than using this likewise, let's say I'm going to create a new thing, we call it ConfigMap. So vector create ConfigMap, let's say Ashutoshh CM1, and right, ConfigMap can take data. ConfigMap can data from a key value pair, or from an environment file, or from a file also. What if you want to share some file to pod? So let's say it's not about only variables. If you have some, Kubernetes is here. Now you have some file where your data is there, and you are in the client machine, and you want to share this file with the pod, deployment, replica set, and replication controller, okay, under a namespace. So ConfigMap can also take data from file and can give to all the resources, right? So first example I am taking is -- from literals. Let's say I'm gonna say x is equals to yellow, okay, If I want to use more than one variable, I can use hyphen hyphen from literals again. Y is equals to blue. Okay, likewise you can keep defining hyphen hyphen from literals, and you can keep defining environment variable like this. Okay, if you don't want to define this so many times, you can store in a file the same way, and you can give the file name as well. Okay, so as of now I'm taking only one, right? Enter, and if I'll check get cm, that is config map, we have this config map created. Okay, I can describe it by kubectl describe config map and the name of C. I can see what variable I have given and what data I have given. Okay, so once I define that, what I can do is in my env file here, rather than writing this value directly, right, I need to write keyword value from, and then under value from I can write config map key reference. Okay, config map key reference. Then under config map key reference I can give name. What is the name of config map? cm1. So name of config map. In the beginning you might be feeling, yeah, I mean we are using the big keywords, but anyway we'll use it number of times. And the key keyword, what is the key? That is x. So name of key that store value in config map. Okay, so we are not writing anything here. First of all, that means nobody can directly check that data. So this is a variable original name and value from config map, and we are having this and the x. What is x? X is not your x, it's like this x value, right? X is equals to yellow. So in a very simple way, this is just x is equals to yellow, and we are having that key. So that is a combination of key and value, right? Yes, here you can give anything, but this x can be anything, and the same thing you have to write here. And the original variable, so the environment variable that you define in Docker file, that is right here under name keyword, right? Yes, see, this is environment variable that you defined in Docker file, and this is x that you define in the config map key. So I hope you get that point, Rhythm. Just let me know in the chat window if you get it. Okay, so anyway, so just sharing history and this file, and if you guys are understanding it very well, then type yes or understood message in the chat window so that I can proceed it. Alright, so बाकी लोग थोड़े स्लो हैं या फिर इंटरनेट स्लो है? ओके, सो मुकेश, रिदम, व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? मतलब समझ में आया हो तो ही हाँ बोलना, राइट? हाँ सर, बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया. ओके, great, understood, functioning fine. Okay, now let's do that. So if I'll do kubectl apply -f env.yml. Okay, so it is saying config map selector got array expected map. Okay, so when it is expecting map, why I'm giving like, see, so they're saying they're not expecting array, they're expecting map, so I'm just removing it, and without hyphen I can write here because ConfigMap is not expecting in array format. Fine. Yes, Piyush. So only pod will read the value during the creation time, right? Yes. So if I do it again, got created and get pods. Yes. First of all, let me delete everything whatever it is running in my Kubernetes. So I have a lot of things running here. Okay. It will take time. It is taking so much time. Okay, till the time I can. Okay, oh my god, it came back. Okay, fine. So apply -f and -env.yml. Okay, so if you check here in the pod, I'm just giving you the exec command it and pod 1, then env. So if you check here, the color value is yellow. Okay, fine. So this is yellow color, and what I'm doing right now is let me expose a pod and the pod name -- type to node port port 80. Alright, get service. So I'm getting 30141 30141. So 30141. Yes, yellow color. Okay, and let's say if I create another config map like kubectl create config map Ashutoshh and from literals y is equals to or a is equals to blue, and then I'm gonna make a copy of it env1.yml, and in the env1.yml I'm gonna give a different name of the pod, and here I'm gonna give cm2 and here a. Right, so cm2 this, and if I try to apply by -f env1, then pod 2 got created, and if I expose pod 2 also -type node port and then 80, then I can check by get svc. It's a 30196 96. See, blue page, and 30141. Okay, so the good point is, even if the pod is getting deleted, your variable is also not depending on the pod. So ConfigMap is a separate entity, right? And you can use the same config map with different pods. So if you have pod 1, pod 2, pod and many pods, so you can use the same config map with XYZ number of pod. You don't have to define these values over there. So even if you are sharing some file also, it is also not very much one. Okay, so all right, so might be you're having some confidence. Okay, Ashif, I'll give some. See, the point is not about changing it. Let's say if I have 1,000 pods, then I have to change in 1,000 places every time if I want to change the value. For example, Ashif, if you're not understanding it, let's say you created thousand pods where all pods are having X is equals to, for example, color is equals to yellow. All pods having color is equals to yellow, right? Now you want to destroy these pods and you want to create them all by replacing X is equals to blue. You want to make a blue pod. So if you do it one by one, what will be the problem? This blue thing you have to update in all the 1,000 pod file and recreate it. Big job, right? Rather than doing that, if you created config map and these config map are mapped, so you just change the value here, X is equals to, let's say, from yellow to blue. Once you do that and you recreate the pod, all the data got updated. Fine? Did you get it now? Maybe other people also, if you are having some confusion. So Ashif and hopefully other people, you can just respond here in the chat window if you are understanding it, how it is different from env, because in case of env you need to change on those 1,000 places. Alright, understood? Ashif, where is Ashif? Great. Cool. Alright. Now the second example is, and that is a big thing, that is also a difference. Config map can also be used as a volume, right? So because config map can take data from file, and you can use config map as a volume, right? Any keyword use, it can replace anything. It can inject a new variable. So good question by the Pius. So even if your Docker image is not having some variable, let's say for example it is not having any variable like color, right? So you can also inject a new variable by using config map, right? So it's not a problem, a new variable also. Yes, in some cases you can use as a template for injecting data, variables, some username, password. Yes, we can pass multiple key and values. So how you can do, so let's say if your config map is having multiple data, so you can keep, see, so So 1 2 3 4 5. I'm just taking these 2 3 5 line copying and pasting it again. Let's say the second variable name is color1, and you can give, let's say you have another key in the config map 2, you can give a2. So if you have a variable key in cm1 like a, and you have another like a2, so you can keep passing that likewise. Okay, so this example you can also assume this section, inspect it every time and do it for 1,000 times. Even some variable is not present in Docker file, it's not a problem, right? So I hope Shreya you also get your answer, Piyush you also get your answer using this, right? Great. Okay, see, let me show you. Windows error sign. Yeah, very much. I hate Windows, but I just don't want to, Anyway, I'm ordering MacBook by this evening to tonight itself. Then we'll have fun. Okay. Then I have Linux, Windows, and Mac, all three OS. We'll do a lot of R&Ds. Anyway, so for a rhythm, yes, we can inject. How? See, for example, let's say I'm going to take cool.yml, and the cool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the name of variable like Hakuna. Okay, fine, and then I'm deleting everything as of now, right? सही है, कोई बात नहीं. Okay, so because the reason is, let me just deploy it first. This error, oh my god. Fine. So as of now, rhythm, you can see here we don't have any variable like this in Docker image, but if I create it like apply -f cool.yml, and if I just check by exec and the pod name Ashutoshh pod env, you can check Hakuna is a variable. What happened? Let me just check it, what is happening. I'm coming in 1 minute, right? Just closing my door. So, सर्वप्रथम आप सबको क्या समझना चाहिए कि Kubernetes क्या है, right? What is Kubernetes? And अगर आप ये समझ गए तो आप ConfigMap भी समझ जाओगे. And the thing is, अरे कहाँ गया मेरा writing? Okay, yes. So first of all, अगर मैं आपको दोबारा बताने की कोशिश करूँ कि Kubernetes क्या है, so let's say this is your Docker image, right? And during the image creation time you have defined a lot of things. Let's say you have defined some environment variable, some CMD, some entry point, and many more things. Okay, some expose port number, lot of things. Now what is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is a Papa product that can take this Docker image and deploy in Kubernetes cluster like a pod by using all default settings, all default settings. But Kubernetes is creating everything under container, but they're not calling it container, they are calling it pod. Why is that? So that Kubernetes product can inject anything in the pod, even those things also that is not present in Docker file or Docker image. So they can inject env, they can inject ConfigMap, they can inject IP, they can inject storage, they can inject VPN, they can inject monitoring tool, anything. So container is here, and when they inject in the pod, they will be connected to the container. So even if you see, when I hit the env, these things are also not present in my Docker image file. We never define that, right? Still so many things are present in here. So once you understand Kubernetes in very well manner, you will be on the seventh sky, trust me, because Kubernetes, learning Kubernetes, doing practical is not that much good feel until unless you are not feeling the power of Kubernetes, right? So Kubernetes can inject anything to the running container, and that doesn't matter it is present on Docker image or not. Okay, so rhythm, did you get the point? So it's not going to matter. I mean, Docker is nothing for Kubernetes. It's just a base MS to understand the containerization. Okay, cool. So now that's why we introduced that Hakuna, right? Fine. So now moving on to the next part of ConfigMap, that is ConfigMap can take data from a file. Let's say you want to test your normal application. For example, I'm having index.html, and here I'm gonna write hello or hola people, right? आगे कुछ अपने आप से मत सोचना, right? And this is h1 because लौंडे थोड़े ऐसे होते हैं. Input, and I'm copying this line, let's say 10,000 times. Okay, so what exactly I'm having here? 1,000 times of input, more than that, right? And some keyword. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this file as a config map. So I create kubectl, create config map ashu web hyphen from file index.html. okay, so this config map got created, and the content of index.html is stored in the config map. Now I hope I'm not making it fast, right? So kubectl run pod1 hyphen image nginx, and then I'm going to just use hyphen port 80 hyphen dry run OYML and web.yml. okay, hopefully if I'm doing it fast, please let me know here in the chat window, but I hope it's all fine. I'm just creating a config map and I'm taking it from a file and just hitting enter, right? Whew. I don't know about, I think internet might not be working very well, so I really cannot help in that. Okay, web.yml. So what I can do is I can just inject this volumes keyword or volume mounts keyword, and then I can write here the name of volume, let's say Ashutoshh vol xx, and mount path is under under USR share nginx HTML, and then I'm creating a volume here by volumes keyword, and I'm gonna give the same name of volume that exactly. Okay, wait, so I can just do syntax off color. Now it's fine. Okay, cool, you can tell me. So mount, and the name is again same as Ashutoshh vol xx, and then अरे हो गया देखो, I mean color got changed, right? And then config map, then the name of config map is something, I believe, Ashu web, if I'm not mistaking anything. So it's a volume type. I'm gonna comment it, right? Volume from config map. So here we are defining volume and here we are mounting it. I think मैंने ये part भी बता दिया था, but config map से नहीं बताया था, right? And we are mounting this data under this. Okay, now if everything is very much fine, so hopefully I can just create -f web.yml. Oh, yes, it got created. Get pods, and hopefully it is running pod 1. I can just access this pod by it pod 1 under bash, not pod 1 exactly, pod 1, and if I go to USR share nginx HTML, and if I check the file index.html, it has the same content. Wow, wonderful, right? So yes, उठा सकते हैं लेवल से, पर उसका एक डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट बनेगा. And if I just expose pod bo1 -hyphen type node port -hyphen port 80, and if I check it again, that gets SVC 30695 30695 30695 30695. Okay, yes, see. Oh my god, really? Fuck. पता है क्या हुआ अभी जब मैंने ऐसे बोला ना 30695, so my Google वॉइस फोन पे अपने आप सर्च कर रहा है सेक्स. Shit. Anyway, so it's 30695 by the way, and it's this index.html page that is here. Okay, it has a lot of input box and hello, hola. Whew, fine. So that means this example is also cool. We can use config map as file to mount it. Google is not reading mine anyway. Fine. So okay, ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. So is it done with the config map? All right. ठीक है, तो अभी यहाँ के स्कोप में से मिलता ही है. config map is as a environment variable and as a file, right? ओके, यदि आप बिल्कुल सेटिस्फाइड हैं यहाँ से ConfigMap से, तो हम आगे का काम कर सकते हैं. यस सर, डन. ओके, फाइन, cool. So moving on to the next one, and that is problem with ConfigMap. Okay, so the problem with ConfigMap, and the first one is very less features. I'm not gonna talk much about features, and the second and most important is not secure. Okay, it's not secure. How? See, if someone is using your pod file, then they cannot predict the data. But if someone going to check ConfigMap and they do describe command, if they do describe ConfigMap and ConfigMap1, then they will get what variable you given and what value is given. So if you want to store some username and password or some critical information in ConfigMap, that is not really secure. Okay, it is not encrypted. So that simply means either we can say not encrypted, or we can say it is not secure. First of all, encryption is not security, so it is not secure, right? So less features and not secure. So what we cannot store? We cannot store any username and password. We can not store any SSL certificates. SSL certificate, right? SSL certificate we can also not. I hope you guys are aware about SSL certificate. So like we store index.html, that is not a problem, but any confidential data like certificate and all, we cannot store in ConfigMap because it is a plain text data, right? So first of all, SSL you do understand or not? Give this answer by yes or no, and rest you are understanding why we cannot use ConfigMap to store some critical information. Okay, so to overcome such a problem, like using ConfigMap in a different way, we created another Kubernetes API resources. So we are moving from ConfigMap to the next, that is Secrets. Okay, now Secret is having a lot of things. It has so many features. I'm not going to talk about. It has data security also. It is going to store data store in encoded form, right? Not in encryption, in encoded form by using base 64 algorithm. So hopefully you know about this algorithm, encoding one, right? And it can also store your TLS and SSL certificate. It can also store your Docker hub or any container registry authentication. Container registry authentication. Okay, so Secret is a bigger version, or it's a much better thing. So Secret can do everything that ConfigMap can, but Secret has new things also, storing data in encoded form. It can store SSL TLS information. It can also store your container registry authentication like username and password and many more things. Okay, now what we need to do, I'm just going to show you the first demo of ConfigMap in a very similar way. So let's say if I want to create a secret, so first of all whatever I'm writing here, it is very much understood, right? मतलब कि ये सब कुछ समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को. Features, data store, SSL trailers, Docker hub and many more. Fine. ठीक है, आ रहा होना चाहिए. Then create secret. Now if I hit tab, I have three kind of secrets: Docker registry, generic and TLS, right? The middle one, that is generic, it is going to work like a config map where I can use a secret name, let's say Ashutoshh SEC1, and it can take data from literals, let's say x is equals to yellow. Okay, got created. Now if you do get secrets command, you are having this secret, and even if you try to describe it, that secret, right, you can see this data size x and 6 byte size, but it is not showing the value what is stored there. Okay, it is showing 6 byte because we have 6 byte data. Alright, so now we can use this in our environment variable in a very similar way. Let's say under env, I can just use secret key reference name is Ashutoshh sec1, the key is x. So very similar to ConfigMap. I think I can also cross check secret in Kubernetes, and if I open it, right, using secret, and if I come down as an environment variable, we can also use as a mount point, but secret key reference, secret key reference, okay, yes, is secret key reference, same name and key, so it's very much same as secret key reference. Okay, so I can use the same, and kubectl apply -f env.yml. What? I think I already have something running. So I need to delete it, delete all -all. Right? Whew. So type means, where is the type? Manan, I didn't get your question. Which type means you're asking for? Yes, it got created with getPO. So it's quite similar to the one that we used. And similarly, we can also mount secrets like Okay, so CM and config map can be used as an environment variable. We can mount also, and many more things. Okay, you can do a lot of things by secret also, but the big use of secret is to store your SSL TLS certificate and container registry. So I'm going to show you this final example. I mean, SSL TLS maybe I can show you somewhere in near future, but Docker container registry. So let me design a diagram first. For example, we all understand this is my Kubernetes master and minion, right? Let me right. Okay, so I'm taking this Docker and Kubernetes cluster, and this is my master, minion, and minion. We all understand the same fact that every single machine is running Docker engine everywhere. Right? Every single machine is Docker engine everywhere, and no. Fine, Shreya, your answer is no. Docker engine, and Docker engine is by default only can pull images from Docker Hub. Okay, now for example, if I upload or create whatever I want to do, my Docker image to any of the registry like ACR, like ECR, or like in any custom private registry. If you put here how these Docker engine can take data or image from there. I mean, can they take it or not? Because by default your Docker engine does not understand anything apart from Docker Hub. So what is the case in production environment or in real company? A lot of developer, they are pushing image on Amazon registry, Elastic Container Registry, in Azure registry, in custom, and many places are there. And by default, Docker is the product that understand only Docker Hub. The thing is, you cannot go to these machine and configure Docker to understand these registry also. Alright? Understanding my point? Yes or no? Okay, I think yes. I mean, by default, Docker cannot take or pick data from any other place other than Docker Hub. Yes or no? Okay, just great. Yes, okay. So, that one type. Fine. I can see some yes, no, yes messages. Okay, great. So how you configure your Kubernetes to take the data from here? So for example, let me show you. I'm going to log in my Microsoft Azure Cloud, right? And I'm signing in here. And then portal of the cloud. This is Microsoft Azure Cloud. That is also very popular these days. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a registry, container registry here, and registry I'm gonna create by just few clicks. It's very easy to create ACR registry in Microsoft Azure. And then I'm gonna use this resource group AZ103 or maybe AZ10. I think 2 is fine. Name is K8S love azure.cr.io. Okay, this is the name. I'm creating this registry in Central US, that is fine, and just review and create. So now this got validated. Just clicking on the create again. So what just happened? This registry is getting created and the deployment is underway. Wow, it's just underway, and yes, it got created. I'm going there. So let me first upload one Docker image here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's say this is my client machine, and I'm going to pull a very simple Docker image like Nginx. Okay, now what I'll do, ISP rhythm, they all are private registries. So by the way, these registries are private. Okay, and you have to pay for that if you want to store your images over there. Fine, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to tag this image Nginx by the name of Azure server. So if I'll just check this name /nginx .io/nginx. Fine, I tagged it. Now I'm logging to my ACR by Docker login. My username is K8S love. पासवर्ड मैं आपसे शेयर नहीं कर रहा, बट मैं टाइप कर देता हूँ. आप चाहो तो थोड़ी देर के लिए देख के भूल जाना. I'm just enabling this password and I am just copying it. They have a pair of password actually. Now logged in. Once I logged in ACR, I'm just pushing this image to ACR. Okay. Now, without doing any further delay, I'm just gonna log out it for security reason. Okay, Ashif. If you use Docker Hub for private registry, you have to pay for that after some time. So there is not unlimited or not security things are available in Docker Hub, right? So private images are required because companies are having their code in the Docker image. Remember? And if you have your code in Docker image, you don't want to share it publicly. You know, for companies, it's not possible to share that image publicly. Even your image also having licenses, certificates, and many more things. So image must be on a private place in a very much secure way. Anyway, it got pushed in short. I'm just okay. Now, what if I'm gonna use this image from like client machine to create any deployment like ddp111 image, and this is my deployment. Okay, so this is my image name. If I hit enter, deployment got created. Okay, but you can see here deployment has 0 out of 1 ready. Okay, so the available is not, and if you check the pod created by deployment, it is saying image pullback of error. Okay, and if I do describe this pod, describe pod dep this, you will see here error image pull because fail to pull image, and the reason is unauthorized authentication required. So the error is unauthorized authentication required because nobody can pull image this from anywhere. Let's say if I try from my Microsoft Windows PowerShell by docker pull command, just try to, I cannot, simply because the image needs to be authenticated by the username and password. See, same when a normal Docker engine cannot pull this image, how Kubernetes will do that? Okay, so are you guys are understanding why Kubernetes is throwing that image error pullback of error? Because the image stored in a private registry, it cannot be pulled by Docker engine running on Kubernetes node, right? Yes or no? Yes, 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 no, 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 yes. Okay, fine, just waiting for your response in the chat window, and then we'll talk about solution. So any private registry image cannot be pulled by Kubernetes until unless the authentication is not supported. Okay, now the second thing is how we can pull image manually. So we have to do Docker login first. If we want to pull this image manually, login first. Once we log in into the ACR, then we can pull it. Okay, so first of all we need to log in and then we need to pull. But Kubernetes worker node is away from a client or customer, so definitely you cannot log in. Okay, you cannot go to server every time and log in then pull that image. So what we need to do, we need to give this username password to Kubernetes, and Kubernetes will use that username password to pull the image from Docker registry. Okay, so in short we need to give this authentication details to Kubernetes product, and Kubernetes will use that product to pull image from any registry. Okay, so this is one of the new use case of secret. Secret can store any container registry information, right? So what I can do is, let's say if I create kubectl create secrets, and this time I'll be creating Docker registry type secret, Docker registry, name of let's say azr, and here -- docker user name is k8s love, and -- docker password is equals to, I need to give the right password, so I need to log in here again, and the same password, the one we used, I need to supply that password there, and -- docker -server is equals to k8s love.azure.cr.io, where I can find this URL, that is here k8s love.azure.cr.io, and done. Okay, once I do that, if I recheck my Kubernetes pod or if I delete my deployment, yes, same for others also. So deployment and deployment name, and if I try to recreate it, see, if I try to recreate deployment and I try to check again get pods, see, still we are getting this image pullback off error. And the reason is very simple, because how deployment will understand that you have to use this secret to pull the image, this secret. Okay, so what we need to do, we definitely not going to use in such a way. So we'll use create deployment, will generate its YML file, and then we'll store in a, let's say, d.yml, and under d.yml, so under specification of containers, okay, we have a keyword called image pull secrets, and then under image pull secret we can give a name of Ashutoshh1. Okay, so again there is a problem with the color. Fine, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write image pull secret in Kubernetes, and if I'll show you that exact keyword, I think it's image pull secret only. So I'll just go in the direct example, see, it's image pull secrets, yeah, it's secrets. So I think I have written the right keyword, yes, and the name is this. Okay. So if you are having pod, you can just write under specification same way in the pod also, same deployment here and the pod here. Okay, so image pull secret and the name of secret, and then you can try to deploy this file. Once you deploy it, you get deployment, and that is now what is happening, I think I have created something else, is it? Secret, oh, it's AZR, right? Secret name is AZR. I've given the wrong one again. So image pull secret is AZR. Okay, I'm not making this color off, and then I am replacing this by, so it will delete the existing one and recreate it, right? And here I'll check deployment again. Wow, it's working now. Okay, if I'll check get pods running, फाइन। तो ये रही आपके Kubernetes सीक्रेट की कहानी मेरी जुबानी, ठीक है। We'll talk more about secret sometimes, you know, पता नहीं कब बात करेंगे, लेकिन कभी न कभी तो करेंगे सही। बट जो मुझे बेसिक मतलब समझाना था सीक्रेट का, we can use for registry storing purpose, and that is very important। इंटरव्यू के लिए भी कभी आपसे कोई पूछ सकता है या मैं ही पूछ सकता हूँ, what is image pull secret uses, okay। सो ये कहते हुए कि आपको ये बिल्कुल समझ में आ चुका है, चाहे भले समझ में ना आया हो, लेकिन आप ये कहें कि समझ में आया, और हम लेते हैं आज के लिए विदा, ओके। सो थैंक यू सो मच गाइस। आया हो तो भी अच्छी बात है, नहीं है तो भी अच्छी बात है। सो थैंक यू सो मच एंड हैव फन, राइट। So great, you need to watch this video maybe one more, two more times. Just re-watch the videos again and again, because ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ प्रैक्टिकल कर लेने से बात बनेगी। ओपन शिफ्ट का आइडिया देता हूँ। विरदम वी नीड एटलीस्ट 30 से 35 मिनट हमें चाहिए ओपन शिफ्ट के लिए। सो 30-35 मिनट अभी तो नहीं है, बट डेफिनेटली विल प्लान इट। ओपन शिफ्ट आइडिया क्या, डेमो दे दूंगा किसी दिन, ठीक है, राइट। Alright guys, so thank you so much and have fun. I'm just deleting some data from my Azure cloud because it is, okay, delete. It is very costly.